Shalom! Welcome to the 7th day of our Novena for the World Communications Day. Our topic for today is St. Paul's way of witnessing and communicating Christ. Pope Francis says,
"Every tool has its value, and that great communicator who was Paul of Tarsus would certainly have made use of email and social messaging. Yet it was his faith, hope, and charity that impressed those of his contemporaries who heard him preach or had the good fortune to spend time with him, to see him during an assembly or an individual conversation. Watching him in action wherever he was, they saw for themselves how true and fruitful for their lives was the message of salvation that by God's grace he had come to preach."
Let us listen to the personal testimony of Father Albert Garong, a member of the Society of St. Paul, host of the Padscast.
Hi everyone, my name is Father Albert Garong of the Society of St. Paul. I'm a Pauline priest here in the Philippines, and I'm very honored and delighted to be able to share to you my simple experience as we do our Pauline mission and work in the social communications apostolate. So here in the Philippines at St. Paul's, we have been producing different kinds of content for our Catholic faithful. We began with our Sambuhay TV Mass, and from there we have been able to put out different other programs such as Bible quizzes, catechetical shows, even children's shows. But perhaps one of the more different shows that we have produced is something we call Sambuhay Interaktib. Sambuhay Interaktib is meant to be a casual, laid-back show where our audience can simply sit back, relax, enjoy discussions on different light topics, and even some musical entertainment provided by our seminarians as well. This has been a very fruitful experience for us because while this show does not exactly fit the mold of the typical Catholic media content that we see on the internet, it has really attracted different kinds of people from all over the world. And they have told us how much they appreciate having a space or a place in the internet where they can have good, wholesome, clean fun with us Pauline priests and brothers. And in fact, they have also initiated forming their own online communities around our Sambuhay Interaktib, through which they have been able to show each other support and even pray for one another. And it has been a very instrumental part in how they have faced these uncertain times during the pandemic. Another show that we have ventured into just this year is something we call the Padscast. Pads is short for Padre or Father, and it's actually a podcast featuring myself and another Pauline priest, Father Chris Lacer, SSP. It is another unusual move for us because podcasting in the Philippines is really not that big compared to other countries. And we do have, in fact, a small audience for now. But we have been inspired to do it because we believe that it is worthy of venturing into, because there are people who we might be able to reach better through this format. And true enough, we have been able to reach different kinds of people who otherwise would not have been reached by our typical approaches in our social media apostolate. What do I take away from all this given my own personal experience, is that it really pays to be open-minded and creative about how we do our apostolate. If you look at St. Paul, our patron, he is known for his zeal, for the vigor and the tenacity with which he approached his mission. But it's not just that. It's not just that simple. He was also very much creative and he always sought different ways, as many ways possible as he could, to be able to reach as many souls as possible. I hope and I pray that we will be able to really emulate this example of St. Paul and be able to really find as many ways as we can to be able to fulfill the mission that we have entrusted to by Jesus Christ. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Prayer for the 55th World Communications Day by Pope Francis. Lord, teach us to move beyond ourselves and to set out in search of truth. Teach us to go out and see. Teach us to listen, not to entertain prejudices or draw hasty conclusions. Teach us to go where no one else will go, to take the time needed to understand, to pay attention to the essentials, not to be distracted by the superfluous, to distinguish deceptive appearances from the truth. Grant us the grace to recognize your dwelling places in our world and the honesty to tell others what we have seen. Amen.